time you were there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty large number. What can you do to duplicate that or get close to that? Just get one. You just want one.
Yeah,
right?
of course. Obviously, good memories there. That was a great game last year. Definitely one of the highlights of my career. But different year, completely different games. So we know that it's always tough to go there and play. And both of us need to win, want to win. So it's going to be a battle, and we just got to come out and play well.
Yeah, they're absolutely down this year. I mean, at this point, I think they have 2 wins. So how do you guard against, in football it's a trap game, that kind of thing. How do you guard against that?
Yeah, of course. They're going to be a dangerous team because they need to win. They're going to be, come out with intensity in front of their fans, obviously. With the way the season's gone for them so far, they're going to come out flying. So we got to be prepared for that. And, if they push numbers forward needing to win the game, we got to find ways to exploit that and try and score some goals of our own. So it'll be a battle, but we can't be surprised if they come out, flying, knowing that they need to get 3 points.
What do Peter Vermees's teams tend to do well? They've had you've been real back and forth with them.
Yeah, they're well organized. They have an identity that they play, and obviously they play good attacking football as well. They have a lot of good attacking players that we need to be aware of. But obviously he's been there for a long time and established an identity within the team that they've bought into, and so they're a difficult team to play. We've always had tough times going to Kansas City. It's a difficult place to go in and get a result. So hopefully we can replicate last year and come out with a win. But we know even with how their season's been going, they're always a dangerous team to come up against.
Jordan, after the stretch you guys had, there's so many interleague games of one after another. To get that little mini break, how good was that for you mentally?
Yeah, great. I think for the guys, physically, mentally, it's been a tough run, stretch of games, and so to be able to recover like that is important, especially at that time of the season. That doesn't happen very often. So, yeah, important for us mentally, physically, but now we're back on it, and we gotta string some results together.
Did you take the time to do anything specific, or just stay with your family?
No, just hung out with the family. With the little guy, and just it was a lot of travel during that time, so just getting some important time with the family.
Jordan, with a team that's attacking, you're not going to change who you are, possession-based team, but how much do you rely on defense and then maybe use a little more counter-attacking transition?
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes away from home that can be important for us because maybe potentially play a little bit different on the road versus at home. And if we have a little bit less possession, obviously that's a goal is to have possession. If we have a little bit less, we sit in a mid block potentially and absorb their pressure, and then again find ways to counter against them and score some goals. But if it ends up that we have possession, we got to find a way to break them down too. So we'll see how the game plays out, but that could be a potential outcome for sure.
Jordan, it seemed like last time there was space, there were runs that could have been that you could have made, that maybe the ball didn't get to your side quick enough. How do you better that? How do you improve that as a whole?
Are you saying
where,
it's RSL?
Yeah, where maybe when they're in possession, it doesn't take so long for the ball to be switched to your side and just maybe commit more to that switch of play immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult part of the game, and I think that's something that we need to do better with is we allow teams sometimes to get into a low block against us, and then it's really hard to break that down. We've seen that for a long time now, and then we don't always do the best with that. So we got to find ways to, it's from both sides, switching the point of attack quickly, not allowing them to get set as a group, and just trying to exploit different areas within teams. But yeah, it was a frustrating game against RSL, and in that sense, again, not coming out with 3 points at the end is tough, but it's something we've been working on in training, and hopefully we can see it against Kansas City.
Given a week off to sort of sit on it, do you feel like the dropped points against RSL is more front of mind, or is it 4-1 and 4 in the last 9 that's more sort of like, what's the feeling, I guess, that you have? Is there a momentum, or is it more of a we got to get back and reclaim the points we lost type thing?
A little of both, I would say. I think when guys came back in after the time off, it was, we hadn't had time to go over the RSL game yet, so it was a little bit of that sting still, not getting the 3 points out of that game and knowing how obviously helpful that would have been. But now I think, in our meeting, we look back, like you said, whatever our record was in the last set of games. So there is a little bit of momentum, but I think, again, I say this a lot, when you have a tough result, you just want to get back out on the field, and I think that's the feeling within the group is we're frustrated with that result, so we want to play again.
How close do you feel like this offense is finding a rhythm, is to finding a rhythm?
Yeah, hopefully close. And again, we haven't scored enough goals this year, and that's on all of us. And I think it's been frustrating. You can sense that within the groups, but I think things are turning a corner. Like you said, with our record, things are turning a corner. I think the cohesion within the group is turning a corner a little bit, and things are gelling a little bit better. So we got to just keep improving, keep trying to work together, score some goals, and get some results. But I think it's coming.
When it comes to that,
Last question for Jordan, guys.
when it comes to that issue that we just talked about, it's kind of been repetitive throughout the season. Is that inability to hold the lead in the last minutes? Is that something that's more mental? Is that more tactical? Is that an ability to maybe just freeze the game a little more?
Yeah,
what
something that we've talked about and worked on this week is that exactly, obviously, with Vancouver and at home and RSL, and there were some other games where we just couldn't. Philly, we almost gave it away at the end, and so there's games, where we obviously need to do a better job of closing that out. Whether that's obviously if Danny's goal counted, the game's over. So whether that's scoring the second goal, keeping better possession, I think sometimes we drop a little bit too deep and just try to absorb pressure for the rest of the game. So it's finding ways to not do that. Keep if we keep the ball, obviously they're not going to score. If we put more pressure on them, they got to go 80 yards to get to our goal versus sitting deep in our own box and trying to absorb that pressure for 10, 15, 20 minutes. So things we've worked on and talked